Hey there, Brian King. As many of you know, my son Zachary attempted to take his own life for the second time a few days ago. And I was reflecting upon what got us to this point. And I spoke to him this morning. And what I've noticed with him is what I've noticed with a lot of my clients with ADHD and Asperger's over the years when it comes to their ability to imagine a positive future. And the real missing ingredient here is faith. And people typically think of faith in terms of religious belief, faith in a God that there's no proof for, that they haven't seen themselves. So let's bring that down to a much more practical everyday definition. And faith is basically belief in your ability to create something, whether you have proof or not that you can do it. Because there's a lot of things that we do for the first time. A toddler trying to walk, there's something inside that toddler that compels him or her to want to walk. And there's a belief that it can happen. I've never done this walking thing before, but I have faith that I can do it. When you enroll in a college course or in any kind of class, one of the reasons you go all in, you work so hard, is because you have faith that you can pass it. Maybe you have faith that you can get an A. There's something about your conviction, your confidence, and your ability to create something that you've either created previously, but maybe aren't sure you can do again, or you've never created it before, but you absolutely believe you can create it. But it's not just a matter of having that faith in something you've never done before. That belief in something unseen that there's no proof for. There's also this belief that you can acquire the tools and the knowledge you need along the path in order to create this thing that you've maybe never created before. And people with ADHD and Asperger's tend to struggle with that resourcefulness. They tend to struggle with the idea of asking for help, of collecting those resources. So they simply just want success to happen. So they'll say things like, well, you got to guarantee me it's going to work before I'll even do it. Okay, I'm not a magician, but I do have faith. I have faith that we can make this happen. I can visualize it in my mind. I know the outcome is achievable pretty much because someone else has done it before a couple thousand times. You're typically going to do something that you're not the innovator of. You're going to take a class that hundreds of people have passed before. So you know that there is a process for passing the class. You simply need you need the tools, you need the knowledge, you need the resources in order to make it work. Okay? I, with all of my challenges, continue to bump up against things. For example, I'm having to use a walker, a wheelchair, all that stuff, but I still have things I want to do. So I can say, oh, well, that's it, I can't do it, I'm screwed. Or I can say, I'm imagining myself accomplishing the same goals, even with these physical challenges. I don't know how I'm going to pull it off yet, but I have faith that I can find a way. So then I start asking people, what accommodations are available? Has anybody else done this before? How did you do it? What's your workaround strategy? What's your mindset? What attitude do you need to have in order to be successful at this? And I told my son this morning, I said, one of your biggest hurdles is that you lack faith that things can get better. He's convinced himself that because the past year has been so rough, that it's going to continue to be rough. I say, well, if that's what you have faith in, no wonder you don't want to be here. Because your faith is that things will continue to be out of your control, that you can take no meaningful action that's going to improve your situation. What you need to do, son, is you need to find your faith. You need to find some part of you that says, I know this can get better. I know I can take different action than the action I've been taking so I can be happier, so I can feel like I matter, so I can feel deserving of the people that are reaching out to me. And I'm going to go visit them tonight, and I'm going to reiterate that message. You've got to have faith, son. You've got to find it somewhere. So that's the message that I want to give to you. So much of what we create in life, whether it's a garden, I mean, look at the farmer who plants the entire field every single year. Is that not an act of faith? believing that I'm going to grow an awesome crop that I'm going to be able to sell and feed my family and feed thousands of other people. It's a huge act of faith. When I post something on Facebook every single day, I have faith that it's going to reach somebody. I don't know who. I might not even hear back from that person. But I have faith someone's going to be helped by me sharing my story. And I hope you do the same thing. That when you learn something of value, you don't keep it to yourself. You put it out there, like throwing up a feather in the wind or whatever it is, and hoping that it gets carried to where it needs to be. So if you do anything today, if you're feeling self-doubt, if you're feeling defeated, remember that one thing that's missing, one missing ingredient in your mind is faith. That belief that you can take action and create something. Maybe you don't know how right out of the gate, but if you have that initial faith that it can be better, that you can take a specific action to improve your situation. Maybe you don't know what it is yet, so ask around. Find somebody who's been where you are, who knows how to go a few steps further, so they can help you along that journey. I'm one of those folks. So reach out to me if you have any questions. I am here to help. I'm your friend. So hopefully this has been helpful for you. If so, feel free to share it with others. They'll thank you for it. This has been Brian. We'll talk again soon.